Part of the journey to Wealthwoke means making sure that our hard-earned money is invested in the best way possible. A couple of weeks ago, I was taking a look at my retirement annuity statement, and I was pretty shocked to see the high level of fees I was being charged. So I decided I would take a look at what other options were available out there. One of the newer entrants to the retirement fund industry that's been making a lot of noise about cheaper fees is 10x Investments. So this week, I sat down with Stephen Nathan, the CEO and founder of 10x Investments, and I quizzed him as to why he thought 10x Investments could offer me a better deal on my retirement annuity than my current provider. Enjoy. Stephen, thank you for joining us today.
Great to be here.
Okay, so you started 10x about 10, 11 years ago. What were you thinking starting an investment or an asset management business when there were so many established competitors already out there?
What I'm really proud of at 10x is what we said 12 years ago is exactly what we're saying today. Is that the problem in the industry is that people quite simply pay too high fees, and most of the portfolios underperform. And the combination of an underperforming portfolio and high fees means that your growth is so much lower than it could or should be, and the compounded impact is you retire much poorer than you can be. So it's kind of, what is giving rise to the high fees and the underperforming portfolios? Well, it comes back to salesmanship, is that it's an industry that is giving you lots of different options. So we say at 10x, the industry gives you every option, but no solution.
Yeah.
And we want to give you a solution with no options, because we know what is good for you, not the best portfolio, because no one knows that, but we know how to invest your money in a sensible, responsible stewardship way that will ensure that you do well over time. So when we formed 10x, we had one objective. We say, what is the single best investment strategy we can give people? And we implemented that single best investment strategy, and I'm proud to say that in our 12th year, it's still that same investment strategy, which has done really well, and we think it's going to continue to do really well into the future.
Let's talk rands and cents now, because I've actually asked your team before this interview just to provide me with a sort of a quote, because I want to compare what I currently have with my current RA provider with what you guys are offering, so that I can see exactly what the differences are. So I'm going to run through this with you if you don't mind. The first thing is that based on the quote, moving to 10x would cut my annual fees from a total of 2.1% of my asset value, of my RA value every year, to 0.79%. So now that's a lot, right? But let's break it down, because they've broken it down. So the first thing is administration fees. So I'm currently, according to my statement with my current provider, I am currently paying 0.39% every year on administration fees. 10x quoted me 0. How does that work? How is that possible?
So to come back to the genesis of 10x, is what we said is we wanted a single solution without the options. So I spent 2.5 years designing this whole business model before we actually started to manage money. So a lot of thought went into it. So with a single solution, the objective was to get it to the investor in the most cost-effective way, to cut out all the layers of fees and the middlemen and all that complexity. So our product, because it's a single simple solution that we administrate, we can charge you one low fee for all the services. The typical model is you go to a broker and they kind of say, well, let's go and pick the 4 big fund managers, or 3, we call it the CIA, invest with Coronation, Investec, Allen Gray. So you pay them for advice to tell you kind of what to do and where to put your money. If you've got those 3 fund managers, then they need some kind of an administration platform to administrate and report on a nice glossy statement to you, and you end up paying multiple fees. So you end up paying, in your case, a list platform, which I think you said is about 0.39% for your list platform. So you're paying that to...
Is that what my admin fee is?
That's your admin fee. But who are you paying that to? So you're paying that to, could be Allen Gray or Investec or one of the list platforms. So you're paying them that, and in return they say, here's a statement that has Elian that's got your consolidated balance on. So we do the administration, and we give you your investment balances and all of that.
That seems like quite a lot to pay.
We don't charge that.
0.39% just for a statement. You guys provide the statement,
sure.
But you don't charge.
We don't charge separately for that.
Great. Okay. Next thing is the portfolio fees. So I'm currently paying, and even though I'm using a specific platform, I'm invested in 3 or 4 different asset managers on that platform. My average fee that I'm paying is 1.35% of my assets every year. The 10x fees are 0.75% that I was quoted on. That's about half. How is that possible?
Well, okay. Well, it's possible because so 10x. When we founded 10x, we said, what's a fair fee for people to pay, and we said that you shouldn't be paying more than 1%, including VAT. So our kind of maximum fee is 0.9% plus VAT, which takes you to like 1.03%. So that's a total cost. If you've got a higher balance, or depending on the product, it could be a bit lower. So for you, I think you said it worked out at about 0.75%. Now that's a fair fee given your balance and given the desire that you need your money to grow to a certain amount to meet financial goals. When you start paying high fees, it just reduces your ability to meet those goals. So we've designed a whole business around that. And quite frankly, the asset management industry is one of the highest paid industries in the world. And the profits they make are, in many cases, nothing short of obscene. Because these companies are charging you 1.35% when they had 1 billion of assets. In some cases, they've got 500 billion, and they're still charging you 1.35%. So they're just making super profits. And if no one's complaining, well, they'll continue to make super profits. That is the culture of those businesses, and the culture of our business is just very different.
Okay, so and then the final fee was the advisor fee. So I'm currently paying 0.29% to my advisor, and I actually think that's a very fair fee, and he does a great job. When I got the quote back from 10x, it came back with a 0% for advisor fee, and I queried us, well, what do I do with my advisor? Why haven't you provided me with an added in that advisor fee if I stay with it? And the response was, well, 10x deals directly with the customer. And I guess the more I started thinking about it was, well, do I really need to be paying my advisor even a 0.29% fee if I'm just going to invest with 10x and leave the money? But then I'm thinking, well, are you saying I don't need an advisor? And what about, and how am I going to get guidance now in terms of, for example, if I have to shift to a lower equity portfolio as I get older? What happens if I want to add an additional contribution in the year? Who's going to help me with that?
The way we manage your portfolio, the time-driven horizon, we actually automatically rebalance and do all of that. So you can get that risk management and that advice embedded in the product, and you can pay nothing for it. We do have people that you can talk to. So a lot of our clients come in and they talk to us, or they talk on the telephone.
Okay, so you have people.
We do have people, but it's it's kind of what I'd call like restricted or limited advice. And also, a financial advisor would say, I'm going to scour the whole market and get the best deal for you. We're not scouring the whole market. We actually are direct to consumer business, and we're saying this is our product, this is the features. It's very, very much factual. Some people need advisors. They need hand holding. They, when the markets go down, they want to phone someone to say, what do I do, or should I panic? There's an election coming up, or.
But you're saying you have that available.
We do have that available, but ours is on a high touch model. We're not going to take you to the soccer and the cricket and the rugby.
Okay.
And
Okay, so you mentioned shopping around. All right, it sounds amazing, but I do know that there are other sort of low cost, passive focused providers out there. Why would I choose 10x versus any of the others? Or the few others that are.
What you'll find is a very different experience, because 10x is very much a direct to consumer model. All the other companies are not. So if you phone them up and you say, hi, it's Elian, I want to save for retirement, what should I do? They're going to say, Elian, sorry, I can't give you advice. We've got lots of different products over here. We have open architecture. We have our own products. We've got, even within our own funds, we've got aggressive and this strategy and a value and a growth and a momentum and so we can't give you advice because so go and find an advisor, or here's our website link, and you'll go there and you'll be completely confused. You won't know what's going on. You're probably going to end up in the same position where you pay an advisor a platform fee and who knows what, because I don't know what's going on with these products. So 10x has got a very different model because we're about the single best solution for you and providing that in a low cost, transparent way with support. People support, technology support.
It looks like a no-brainer to switch to 10x from my current provider or something similar. Why isn't everybody doing it? What's the catch?
Well, there isn't a catch, but you're right to ask why aren't more South Africans doing it? Globally, we're seeing the trend.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so in South Africa, we have a very, what's called intermediated market. Most people are relying on a financial advisor to sort them out. So, almost no one goes into an Old Mutual or Sanlam or an Allen Gray, you wouldn't even know where the offices are, and say, I want to buy your product. So the way that South Africa works is they're very much driven by brokers who phone you up normally once you qualify or you get your first job. They say, it's great you got a first job, and they scare you to death. Have you got this? Have you got that? Let me come around and. So it's very much a sales driven. These are products that are sold and not bought. Now we say that people normally buy good products and they sold bad products. So we have to change the behavior for people to say, listen, educate yourself. It's not that hard. It's not that daunting. It's not that complex. You get much better value if you do it yourself.
Yeah.
And globally, we've seen a big shift. In South Africa, it's kind of, we're still at the early stages of that.
All right. Stephen, thank you so much for taking your time out today to speak to me. I really appreciate it.
It's been great chatting. Thank you.
Great. Stephen Nathan from 10X Investments.